Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we are still working on topic 2. Today is topic 2-3. So previously when we did 2-2, we were talking about rounding. And so now for 2-3, we're going to use those rounded numbers and add or subtract with them. So date your paper, please, and label it topic 2-3. Okay, so our EQ today, our essential question, how can I estimate to find sums and differences? Okay, so EQ, how can I estimate to find, notice the spelling, sums and differences. Okay, so keywords we're looking at here that we know is going to be part of our lesson. Well, estimate, highlight that so it sticks out in your head. And we're talking about sums and differences. Well, let's refresh our memory. This is not when I borrow and when we're doing regrouping and I say, hey, knock on Mr. 4, your next door neighbor, can I have some? Okay? Your brother's eating some Takis, can I have some? That's different. This, S-U-M, we need to define that, okay? Now, I know we already did topic 2 vocabulary. This really isn't just topic 2. This is a math vocabulary word that we should know what a sum or a difference is, but we're going to put it in our notes to refresh our memories, okay? So, sum. Now remember, I'm asking that your notes look just like mine, okay? So your information stands out. It's easier to, when you're flipping back through, when we have a test on topic 2, you can find things more quickly, okay? So the sum. What is a sum? An answer to an addition problem. Answer to an addition problem. Okay, so then we have difference. Okay, well, the opposite of sum, right? Is an answer to a subtraction problem. Now, I know it's math, but we're going to take a quick peek at vocab here, okay? Not vocab, my apologies, grammar. Notice I used an here, and I used a here. Make sure you do the same. Because this word starts with a vowel, therefore it must be an in front of it. This word starts with a consonant, therefore we are putting an a in front of it, okay? Make sure you write it correctly. Okay, so then, ladies and gentlemen, we do have our word problem. Pause. If you're not caught up to me, pause, catch up, and then hit play again. Okay, now you're back. So I'm going to move that puppy up because we don't need it anymore. We've got our word problem that I am going to glue into my binder. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to read it. Remember, we have to read our word problems 2 times. Okay, so I'm going to read it through once, then I'm going to go through and read it again, and while I'm reading it that second time, I'm going to pull out the important bits. Okay, so suppose an amusement park has 2 roller coasters. One is 610 feet long, and the other is 485 feet long. About how many feet long are these rides in all? About how many feet longer is one than the other? Estimate the answer to each question. Let's go back now and start reading it again and noticing those important bits. Suppose an amusement park has 2 roller coasters. Okay? 2 is a number, but I'm not worried about that yet. 1 is 610 feet long, and the other is 485 feet long. About how many feet long are these rides in all? In all is definitely an important phrase. It is a clue as to what kind of math we are going to be doing with the information about these rides. It should give you a clue. Okay, once again, if you look back at those notes for your flow map, for your multi-steps, you will see what we're doing here. This is going to tell us the operation we're using, okay? And then notice we have a second question. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 5th grade. Many times we'll have 2 things you got to do, or 2 questions to answer, right? About how many feet longer is one than the other. Okay, so we've got one longer, and we've got in all that we're looking at. Now, there is another key word we have to pay attention to, because we look back at our essential question, and we're talking about how can I estimate to find sums and differences. Well, everything I'm doing in this lesson has to do with estimating, right? So if we go back and we look at our previous notes, topic 2-2, look at these words that let us know that we're estimating. Notice that? That's in our word problem, the word about. Oops, wrong one. Okay. We've got about right there and about right there. This is so important, ladies and gentlemen, so important. You have to pay attention. One little tiny word. If you actually give me the in all with the actual numbers, I'm going to mark it wrong. Does that mean you did it wrong? No, if you just do math. But the word problem is asking you about. So you have to follow the directions carefully. Okay, so now I'm going to build that brace map, and I'm going to pull over the important bits, get it organized. Okay, so my first question is, and I'm going to put it in all caps so I remember it, about how many feet in all is my first question. My next one is about how many feet longer. Okay, so these 2 phrases should be on your math terms tree map that we did at the beginning of the year. If it's not, let's add it. Okay, when it's asking about how many feet longer, what is the operation you're going to do? Think about it. Pause, think about it, come back. Welcome back. If you are getting something longer, you are subtracting. Okay? Now what about the in all? What operation do you do if you're getting something in all? Pause it, come back after you have the answer. Welcome back. Okay. Oh, that's a little thick. Sorry. Hopefully you can tell my bad drawing. That's an addition symbol. Okay? So we know to be able to answer this one, we're going to have to be adding at some point. But to answer this one, we're going to have to be subtracting at some point. Okay, so let's continue pulling information from the word problem into our brace map, getting that stuff organized. Okay, so the first part of numbers, see we already did the 2 about questions. The first number is 610 feet long. So one roller coaster is 610 feet. The other roller coaster is 485 feet. Okay, well, now's the time. Do not add these 2 together. Do not subtract one of these from the other. The first step is what? Pause, think about it, then push play. Welcome back. The first step, ladies and gentlemen, is to do our estimating. Now, as I told you previously when we were doing topic 2-2, if it doesn't tell you what digit to round to, pick the biggest one. So you're not going to round to the nearest tens for this because it's already 10, right? You're going to round to the nearest 100.